The long Memorial Day weekend for many people is first and foremost as we remember the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. But it is also a special time of year in the world of sports with the annual running of the Indianapolis 500.
And did you know that Northwest Pennsylvania has a very special connection to this famous race? John Last tells us about it in this edition of The Last Word.
When I think about the Indianapolis 500, I think of noise, the roar of the race car engines, the cheering of the crowd. But I also think about Spartansburg, this quiet little community in Crawford County. Spartansburg has been connected to the Indianapolis 500 since the very first race on May 30th, 1911. Ray Harroun, the first winner of the Indy 500 road race, was born and raised in Spartansburg. Ray's father was the town's postmaster beginning in 1880. He also was a carpenter and built the family house on Washington Street that still stands today.
They lived there until 1899. Ray was here in school until he was 16.
Connie Sitterly researched Ray Harroun for her website called SpartansburgHistory.org. It outlines how the community has embraced its connection to the historic race car driver. Connie says a committee was formed in the 1980s led by the town's postmaster, Dolly Firth. The committee wrote letters urging the U.S. Postal Service to release a stamp honoring Harroun to coincide with a special year for the race.
They were trying to get it for the 75th anniversary. They started this in 1984, but they did not make it in time for the 75th anniversary.
That committee from Spartansburg did not give up. And this is the result of its persistence and hard work. A stamp showing Harroun and his winning race car was released to coincide with the 100th anniversary of the first Indy 500. It was a very big moment for the community.
Yeah, it was celebrated. Now, we have people in town who still have a book of the stamps they won't use. Yeah.
The Spartansburg Post Office created a special postmark to honor Harroun and the release of the stamp. Even today, when you walk into the post office in Spartansburg, you can see photographs and newspaper articles about Harroun hanging on the walls. And how about this? A replica of Harroun's race car was built by local resident Rod Bell a few years ago. It was featured on a parade float. It's still around and will be included in a history exhibit to be located in the Spartansburg Grange Hall after building renovations are completed. Proof that Spartansburg will always be proud of its connection to the famous Indy 500. With the last word in Spartansburg, John Last, Erie News Now.
And John says thanks to Connie's research, other Northwest communities can also claim a connection to the first winner of the Indy 500. Connie found out that Harroun moved to Meadville by himself at the age of 16 and finished school there.
And after graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy, Ray lived in Erie, got married in Erie, also studied to be a dental assistant before moving to Chicago. We'll be right back.